When I listen to the experts explain the flaking and the napping, because there are two techniques that are used to create these tools, it's fascinating. The detail and the precision, but also the appreciation for the design of these artifacts that, as I said, were created by humans as far back as 160 million years ago. That's where I am. When I'm in Germany, you have direct connection with the land if you care to go out there. And like I said, these would just happen upon me. This was found by my son in a parking lot. He just handed it to me. But let's begin. What I want to do is just, with my very partial knowledge of this field, I'd like to share my appreciation for these pieces. And I think based on the study I've done, the commonalities that they share, they're all different. You can see that this is a very thick piece. Again, it's tailored to the hand, but if you were to, you could grind things. You can cut through things with this. You can grind acorns or nuts or what have you through this. It's very heavy. It's like more like a wedge. Here I found more at a lake bed. This is what appears to be a arrowhead that had the top clipped off. I'm not sure how well you can see it on the camera, but there are characteristics that show human intervention. This wasn't just made by nature. First of all, the cuts, the angles. There's a triangular facet to this. There's also something that they call bifacial, which was known for the characteristic of Acheulean, which is both sides were done. And you're going to see this in all of these. Here you've got the top, but you've also got the bottom sort of hollowed in a little bit, if you can see it right there. This to the arrowhead. And this is very sharp. It's definitely not as it used to be, but you can see how this would have pierced something. The bifacial aspect of this one is, you can see here, this was hollowed in order to make it easy handling. This one, which is quite amazing, you can see how the angles were cut. See how those angles cut? This is a cutting surface. This is more a dull surface. My hand fits right here. See this here? The flat edges where the hand could fit in, finger here. This is definitely some sort of tool cut here. This ledge is not natural, but my hand just fits right in there, and you can see how this would have been very good for cutting meat, shearing through meat. The bifacial side is here. See how it's some sort of concaveness to that. There it is right there. I definitely feel when I've got my hand on here. And this is the most spectacular of all. This one, which I haven't seen anything that's like this online. This is spatula. It's like a spatula. And you can see how this nub was created for the hand like this. The bifacial side here, it's hauled in so that when the hand can get a good grip, the two fingers on top, you see these cuts here, and this is extremely sharp. Extremely sharp. So you can see that if this was not a ritual tool, that it had a function of the hand could move this way and create cuts. I haven't seen anything quite like this one. Pictures online, but and they're all going back in the ground. So I'm not going to be keeping any of these, but I just wanted to point out my appreciation for the intelligence that went into the creation of these over millions of years. This one, like I said, looks fairly standard in terms of a teardrop, yet it's got a single edge. It's almost like a broadsword versus a double-edged sword. It's got one cutting edge, and the top part's heavy and thick. See? Now this is an interesting piece. I wouldn't imagine that this would be a stone tool, but I think it is, because first of all, if you see here the shape, you see the straight edges, and when I hold it, the fingers fit perfectly around like this, and this piece right here, I think of a diamond tip. It is so sharp. This could have been used maybe in fine work to puncture leather, even. This is so sharp. See this right here? You would never hardly imagine that walking along the beach or the side of a hill, but and maybe I'm wrong. I could be, but it just, the utility is so, it's so made for the hand, the intelligence of the hand. And they were saying online, some of the lectures that I'll post together with this clip, that that what does a lump of stone have to do with human intelligence in terms of learning a sentence or language? Well, they found the brain imagery. They found that the same parts of the brains were used to design and to articulate these stone tools, and the invention of language by humans. So modern science is finding correlations everywhere. Just look at this design. Look at that. And this is so sharp, this tip, and it's so hard. You had to pick the right rock for that. And back to this one, I just want to once again do an appreciation. Look how flat that edge is. Flat out. Now I found this. A bulldozer was clearing out an ancient site, and I just happened to be walking around and stumbled upon it. It was embedded in the ground, in the earth. It's going back, but just want to show you that these, I don't think are natural cuts, but they are done with tools. So you can look at yourself. And this is a heavy nub tip, which then gives me leverage when I use the cutting edge, which is still very sharp. And like I said, this bifacial, this convexity, what that required in terms of human intelligence to design and then pass that technology down for generations and generations and generations. Just the most amazing things. I could go on and on with this, but I'll leave it at that, and I'll leave some interesting links below.